Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard, and today we're going to be talking about my first tournament with 100% Goliath discs in my bag. This tournament was the 4th annual One Love International at Golden Grove Farm and Brewery. This is actually the Monday after the tournament when I'm filming this. And originally I was going to do like a full, almost like a tournament vlog basically. But since I didn't have anybody to film me, it would have just been basically me doing this, talking to y'all before the tournament, talking to y'all between rounds, and then doing this where I'm breaking down the tournament. If I did it the way I was originally planning to do it, it would have been like a 20-minute video, and I don't think it would have been worth a 20-minute watch. So I think in the future I might do something more like that, but I would like to have somebody there filming me, or at least being able to film some shots during a round, film some stuff during the tournament. We'll try and keep it as short as possible today, but going into the tournament, I only made 2 changes to the bag, which was just me adding 2 discs in, which were an OT gyra, which I haven't had an OT gyra in a very long time, but I want to beat this up and have this be that like hyzer flip to turn over mid range for me. But with it being basically brand new, this thing is like straight to slightly understable. So it falls right in between my Oasis and my Glow Oasis gyras, which is really nice to have. I never actually really ended up using this during the tournament, which I'm surprised I never did, because this is like great for like really tight wooded lines. But very glad to have this in the bag for future tournaments. And the other disc that I did throw a little bit was this teal arc. The teal arcs are typically the most understable run of arcs, but this one's actually surprisingly stable. Like you can hear it. It actually got a pretty nice pop top to it. I think this is actually going to be slightly more stable than my yellow Oasis arc, which is going to be really nice to have. But going into the tournament, I felt fine. Like I'd played Golden Grove enough, and Golden Grove is a very interesting course. It's a very, very tight wooded course that's not very long at all. Like the longest hole is probably like 550 feet, and it's a par four. Oh no, there's a par five that's like 650, 700 ish feet, something like that. But the thing that I really forgot going into the tournament that I really needed to remember was the fact that the landing zones out there are extremely small, and to get birdies out there, you really have to throw great shots. Like you can throw good shots, but you're gonna have like circle two look at birdie at best. In order to have an inside the circle look, you need to throw great shots. Plus, I forgot what tournament pressure felt like. I really didn't think I was going to feel it that bad, but I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something about tournaments that just add that extra bit of pressure that you're not used to. So it was fun to get back into that and fun to feel that pressure again, but it's kind of annoying. But let's see. So for the first round, I shot 6 over, which is not where I wanted to be. So yeah, we started on hole 6, means we ended on hole 5. And like I started out pretty well. I was just throwing okay shots or good shots. And I was giving myself looks for birdie, kind of. It was always like a 45-foot putt, or I'd be like right on the edge of circle and have like an obstructed putt. I just couldn't quite throw the shots well enough to give myself those easy birdie putts. Then I took my first over par stroke of the round, which was on hole 10, and took a double bogey on that hole, which really sucked and just kind of ruined my round from that point on. Yeah, that was 5 holes into it, and I was feeling pressure because it was like I was getting so close to getting the birdies, but I just couldn't commit and couldn't do it. And so taking that double bogey really took a lot of wind out of my sails. But after that, I parred the next 4 holes, and I actually had a birdie putt on hole 14, which would have been the first time I think I've ever birdied it. But I threw it like 20 feet long of the basket and hit the band. After that, yeah, I bogeyed out, which really hurt, especially on 15. 15, I threw a perfect shot, perfect tee shot. Had like maybe a 200-foot approach shot in the green, but it was just a dead straight shot. Pulled the shot completely offline, threw it out of bounds, and then got up and down for a bogey. And after that, my confidence, everything was just out the window, which I think I figured out what was actually going on with me between the rounds, because I was feeling unusually like negative towards myself, and like just was miserable out there for some reason. Got my first birdie of the round on hole 2, and then lost it right back on hole 3, and then yeah, parred the last 2 holes of the round. Had Adam and Strib, who tied at 7 under, and they both shot 1,000 rated rounds at 7 under, which was close to what I guessed. I guessed 8 under would do it, But between the rounds, I actually figured out what was going on with me, because it turns out I was just dehydrated. I didn't even think about like needing that much water, considering it was like 30 degrees out there, because I had drank plenty of water before we got out there, but I guess it wasn't enough. But I made sure to hydrate between rounds, and that made the second round at least more manageable and felt better. But speaking of the second round, let's see, where was I at? During the second round, I ended up shooting 4 over, which does not reflect how well I actually played during that round. It was just that I don't know if it was my putt was worse than the first round, but I definitely was putting a lot more pressure on my putter during the second round, and I was just failing. We started on hole 5, which can be a pretty rough hole to start on, because it's one you can pretty easily birdie, but you can also just take a big number on. Ended up hitting something early, threw my approach shot like within 100 feet of the basket, tried to throw an approach shot, and hit, rolled back to like 40 feet, and then made the putt. So that felt great, because it gave me some confidence on the putting green. But after that, I got my first bogey of the round on 6, which just because I threw a shot into the middle of the woods and just couldn't get out. Then I birdied 8 and 9, which felt really good, especially because I had gotten a lot more confidence just being hydrated, honestly. And like I was actually throwing shots hard and with confidence. So after hole 9, I felt really good. Ended up parring 10, which felt great after that was my first double bogey in the last round. Probably the round ruiner was hole 16. That hole, like off the tee, you've got to throw around a dog leg, and you have to have pretty much perfect distance control if you want to get in position for an easy birdie. During the first round, I threw my Samson, but that was like just a little bit too short, so I wanted to disc up and throw something a little bit faster on the same line so I could get around the corner, and tried to throw my orange arc. Ended up pulling it, and it kicked right into the woods. And then I just ended up playing army golf from there and took a double bogey on that hole. 18, I threw a great drive and got myself to like easy, like maybe an 80-foot approach shot into the green. Messed up the approach shot, gave myself like an obstructed 30-footer, missed that. Hole 1, I threw an okay drive, got myself in the circle 2, almost made the putt, but didn't make that putt. Hole 2, I put in the circle, missed the putt. Hole 3, same thing, put in the circle, missed the putt. And hole 4, I really just kind of gave up, because I knew that was our last hole, and like put myself out of position on that one and tried to get aggressive to get up and down for birdie, but ended up messing that up and got a bogey instead. But overall, like I played so much better during that round, and it's really frustrating to see that like technically it's only 2 strokes better. I definitely could have been even to under par with just some small changes. But yeah, in the end, I ended up 10 over, tied with 26th place, averaging 901 rated golf, which that is the one thing I do feel good about. Like, considering how bad I felt I played, I still averaged 900. So I think like if I play a good round, that's going to be about a 950 rated round. But then when I play a great or like almost a perfect round, I think that's going to get us up into those like high 900s and almost 1,000 rated rounds. But the nice thing was, with this being such a wooded tournament and being such a difficult tournament, this made me have to try some shots that I haven't tried before, and so I really end up learning a lot about the bag. For example, I ended up throwing the Waymaker on a forehand a bunch, and was really able to learn the angles, learn the shot shapes with this thing, because this one's actually a little bit straighter than my Savior. I thought it was going to be the same stability, but on a forehand, this is almost like a point and shoot disc, which is something I haven't had before, for forehand at least, so that's going to be really fun. The other thing I learned too was that this orange arc is going to replace my Thunderbirds much better than I was thinking it was going to. Not only was I able to throw it on the same shots as I was able to throw my Thunderbird backhanded, but I was also throwing it great forehanded, which I didn't think I would like it with how domey it is, but this thing turned out to be money for forehands, because I was throwing some great shots with it in the woods. But I already talked about this, but this Teal Oasis arc was the thing that I really learned that I'm really going to like, because it flies like my NT Enox, but goes like 50 feet farther. So keep an eye out for this disc, because this disc is probably going to be a staple in my bag. But I have already signed up for my next tournament, which is actually going to be this weekend. And nicely enough, it's actually going to be at Century. So it's going to be another 2-round event out there, which is going to be nice, considering that's probably the course I've played the most consistently out of any course in the last few months. Not only that, but I've got to film my attempt to shoot 10 under out there sometime this week. So going to be able to get a practice round in out there with some pressure, with the new bag. But going into Century, I'm assuming I'm going to need to shoot like 11 under to get 1,000, maybe 12. But yeah, if you want to see my practice round slash me trying to shoot 10 under at Century, I should get that out on Thursday, and I'll probably have that tournament recap out next Tuesday. So if y'all are interested in watching that, stay tuned. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and have a good one.